1. If you're trying to recall someone's name, create a silly memory aid, even if it seems nonsensical. I once met someone named Lance, and I remembered him as Lance with the pants, even though his pants weren't anything special. 2. Consider happiness as a habit to practice, not a final goal. 3. Imagine that people exhibiting road rage or reckless driving are just desperately rushing to a bathroom to avoid an accident. 4. If your dogs go after the vacuum, switch it off, place it in the middle of the room, and scold the vacuum. Shout, "No, bad, no, no, no," while pointing. It really works. Cromulo, we tried the opposite. We ran the vacuum, called it a good boy, and gave it treats. The dogs no longer mind it. 5. Keep the exhaust fan on for around 10 minutes after you finish showering. It greatly reduces mold buildup. 6. The hospital in our town has outrageous parking fees. Staying for a week can easily cost you hundreds of euros. However, when you donate blood at the same hospital, they'll offer you a decent Käsebrot and a Coke and swap your parking ticket for a prepaid one. So, after staying with my wife for 10 days when our first child was born, I simply donated blood and got the free parking ticket instead of draining our young family's funds. 8. When someone you admire or like does something that confuses or frustrates you, come up with the most favorable explanation possible for them and pretend that's the truth. Hold off on getting angry until you have more information. 10. I deal with people who dislike me by showering them with kindness. It really makes them angry. 12. When I moved to another state and wanted to attend the state university, I had to live there for a year before being considered a resident. Tuition was much higher for non-residents. I read the fine print, and it said that if you own a business, you can be considered a resident right away. I got a business license for my landscaping company, Green Thumbs Landscaping, mowed my neighbors' lawns and saved a lot. 13. I went for a quick walk to help my mental health. It made me feel better. 14. I used to make self-deprecating jokes until one day I realized I had started believing them. I immediately began telling myself, hold on, you're not an idiot. You're actually smart. Or whatever negative thing I had been saying. It worked. I regained my confidence. 15. We had a wasp problem in our yard. My wife found advice about using fake nests to deter wasps and made some out of brown paper bags. It seemed ridiculous that wasps would avoid a poorly made fake nest, but it actually worked. No wasps this year. 16. To clean an oily container, place a kitchen towel with a small amount of dish soap and water inside. Shake it for 30 to 45 seconds, and it comes out clean with no oil left. This was a life-changing hack for me, especially since I've worked in kitchens forever and grew up with an Asian background. When I show others, they are just as amazed. 17. If you run a razor along the surface of your jeans 10 to 15 times in the opposite direction you would shave, it sharpens the blade, and you can keep using it. Just make sure to clean and sterilize it under hot water afterward. I haven't bought a replacement cartridge for my Mach 3 in months, even though I shave my head 4 to 5 times a week. 18. You can train your pets to remind you to take your medications. If you give your cat or dog a treat at the same time every day, they will make sure you don't forget treat time. Keep your meds near their treat cupboard so you both get your treats together. 19. Having some amount of blind confidence can take you a long way. An I'll figure it out attitude can really help you achieve a lot. 20. I play sleep meditations. Michael Seeley is a good option. A few times a week before bed. Over time, my inner voice shifted from being critical to supportive, and I gained confidence. I started college at 51, began therapy, and kept my house organized. After surviving 30 years of an abusive marriage, it was a game changer. 21. If you feel like you dislike everyone, eat something. If you feel like everyone dislikes you, take a nap. 22. I wanted to become more positive, so I started small by complimenting every Ford Transit van I passed. A dozen times a day, I would say, "Hey, nice Ford Transit." I picked this car because of a Jeremy Clarkson joke from Top Gear years ago. Since then, I've become quicker to compliment others and have found more positivity in everyday life. 23. After a day at the beach and ready to head home, apply baby powder or cornstarch to any sandy skin and it brushes off much easier. We always keep a small bottle of baby powder in the car just for this. 24. I once got drunk and crashed into my bathroom door, ripping the hinges out. The next day, a friend suggested filling the holes with chopsticks and screwing it back in. It worked perfectly. I started telling myself it is what it is when faced with situations beyond my control. And it's worked wonders for managing my stress. 26. While showering or getting dressed in the morning, think about things you're grateful for. It helps you start the day with a positive mindset. It may not last, but it definitely gives a good start. 27. If you always place your keys in the same spot, you'll never lose them. 28. Just put a trash can in each room. Trust me, it's a game changer.